Oh, very well.
Yeah, this is the first time in this place. This is quite the manor, isn't it?
Yeah, I've played it a couple of times before. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really, really is.
If it was for sale, I'd buy it.
I was going to say to you as well, speaking of playing here, this is your 4th Irish gig in less than a year, after kind of starting the ball rolling in the Olympia. Are you not, first off, you're not sick of the place yet playing here?
No, well, I mean, I'm not sitting around saying, I want to play in Dublin. I've got a management team that says, you should go back and do this, and I'm all for it.
Fair enough. Someone else
stock up on Silvermans, you know what I mean?
So, like, what are your memories first off? I was at the Olympia gig, the first kind of show with the new band. What are your memories?
The Olympia gig flashed by in about a minute.
I can imagine it would have. Yeah.
It wasn't. It was the most. The word I'm looking for. It was the most. It was the one gig on the tour where I think, what the fuck is going to happen here tonight? I don't know how this is going to be.
Really?
And after that night, it's been a breeze, an absolute breeze. Yeah. And even that night was great because City had beat United 6-1 that day, so I really didn't give a fuck about the Kings.
I loved the. Do you do that at all? You come out to Blue Moon in the background.
Oh no, that was just.
That was on purpose.
Yeah, that was on purpose. Yeah.
Fantastic. I wanted to ask you as well. The band, pretty much give or take a year old now, or it depends how you see yourself in recording or whatever, but are you kind of comfortable, because Oasis and things like that, you're not the centre stage now, are you comfortable being the primal focus of the band?
Well, on the stage, I think what I think is that people, I've said it enough times, that people don't come along to see me to see a show. They come to listen to what's coming out of the speakers. Because I'm not a front man, and I'm pretty much rooted. I've got to be at the guitar and at the microphone, and I'm not as loush as Pete Doherty and fucking, I'm not as energetic as James Bradfield from the Manic Street Preachers. But why they come to see me is because of the music.
Yeah.
And I know that. I think that now, so I don't think about it. I don't feel like I have to do anything to win over the crowd. Even when I've done huge festivals all over the world, and you walk out to a sea of people in fucking Austria, just as the sun's going down, I just think, well, they're all here for a reason. It's not to see me jump out on the pogo stick. It's because of the songs that I've written
and to enjoy the experience.
And they seem to be digging it. So I don't really think about it.
I wanted to ask you as well, I remember when I got the initial press release of the mail about the High Flying Birds, the first album, one of the things that it mentioned, at least I think if memory serves, that you'd almost recorded 2 albums, or material enough for 2 albums. And I looked back on it today and it said that the second album potentially is due for a 2012 release. This is 2011. Is there any kind of update on that? Or?
No, I've scrapped it now.
Oh, is that so?
Well, because I'd recorded it and it was these guys were mixing it. I'd yet to take delivery of it the night before the press conference, and I thought, well, fuck it, I'll just announce it. How shit can it be? And the famous last words.
Yeah.
And I kind of got it, and I didn't like it, and so they tried to remix it while I was on the road, and that wasn't working. So during my time off, I got back to England and got in a studio, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And with this album still being in the top 10 in England, I couldn't have brought it out now anyway, because it would kill this one, Stone Dead. So by the time I get off this tour, I'm going to be not in the mood for going back in the studio. So that, I don't know what's going on with that. It's still there. It isn't finished. It's not, and even if it was finished, it's nowhere near as good as this. So everything's got to match up to
was
this.
Was it recorded with different teams?
Oh yeah.
Musicians? Yeah.
These lot did quite
as well, I wanted to. It's kind of harping back on the thing of you being the front man of the group again, but is it different writing for yourself, your own voice, your own kind of persona, if you will, writing compared to writing for Liam or anything like that? Yeah.
The hardest thing in the world is writing lyrics for somebody and then you reading them and going, it's not that doesn't suit him. So you're constantly chipping away at things to suit. You would get a song, give it to Liam, and then all of a sudden you'd have to change the key because his voice is different to mine. So when I'm writing a song and I'm just at home, free form playing, the songs just form and I know they're virtually finished by the time I render them. So it's easier now. Piece of piss.
Really?
Too easy.
like, if there was some sort of alternate reality where the other band, Oasis, was still going, there was no acrimony, nothing like that, it was just a completely standard band, would the songs that you ended up writing now for your own project, would they have become Oasis songs, do you think? Or is it just your mindset shifted so entirely that...
Everybody's on the Run would have been.
Yeah.
If I Had a Gun, Dream On,
yeah.
Record Machine was an Oasis song. What a Life might have had a bit of trouble getting that past the committee. Oasis, they're not into dance music.
Mm-hmm.
Broken Arrow, maybe not. Stranded on the Wrong Beach could have been, yeah. Yeah, I think most of them could have been.
Would have been, yeah. So there was no real difference or tangential difference between...
No, I don't know. That was the problem towards the end with Oasis. We got stuck in the stadium rock thing.
Mm-hmm.
And really, you should just write songs and worry about what they are once you've recorded them.
Yeah.
But every time we would go in the studio, there would be... We're a rock band, we're a stadium rock band, where's your stadium rock songs?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, well, I better go and write a few of those then, do you know what I mean? Whereas now I'm just writing.
So you were like, previously you were like filling a quota, like there has to be this, within this song, well at this point in a big show and stuff
Yeah, because I mean, we were one of the biggest bands in the world, and you know, you say to Bono will tell you the same thing when they're writing albums. They're thinking how it fits in with their show, and you would think, right, we have to write. The first song should be the first song of the night should be a new song, and you kind of tailor your sound for the for the places that you play in.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now, for this one, I didn't know where I was going to play.
Yeah.
So as far as I was new, I might have not gone above the standard of the Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know a lot different now, so it's kind of got bigger than I reckoned that it would. So makes the next album a lot more interesting.
Yeah, it strikes me that as being quite freeing in a sense, because perhaps it sounds like you might have felt a bit shackled or a bit...
Well, not shackled creatively, because I enjoy stadium rock. I fucking love the big bands, and my favourite bands of all time.
Yeah.
I love going to see U2 and Coldplay and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They were our peers almost, so, but I like that. So that wasn't in any way, it wasn't holding me back in any way, but it was only a certain side of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the contrast between the last Oasis singles like Shock of the Lightning and The Death of You and Me couldn't be more stark, but they're still part of the same. So I still wrote them, do you know what I mean? It's still, but I enjoy it more now, knowing that I can do anything that I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I suppose so. And I'm sure you've been asked this to death, and I apologise for repeating it as well, but what was your impression of Wonderwall at the Olympics?
Oh yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
David Arnold did a new string arrangement for it.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
And but it was good. It's alright.
Yeah, I read that. The quote Enemy had about you was that you just kept them waiting to the last minute.
I just did that for the crack though.
I'm sure you did. It seemed like this weird clandestine meeting of like, we need your song, we're not going to tell you why or where.
Yeah. There was a lot of bullshit surrounding that. Like nobody was allowed to say anything, you know what I mean? Or I would have had to sign a confidentiality agreement and not even told my family. And I was like,
really? It's just like I'm popping out on Sunday.
Yeah, it's like I'm going on
the BBC.
Yeah, I'm going on Sunday. Just what's the closing ceremony at 9 o'clock? And so there was all that shit. And in the end, I was like, you know what? I'm better off out of this. I don't really.
Yeah.
It was great. Don't get me wrong. I sat and watched it, and I thought it was great. And I thought Beady were great.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Oasis in some way was represented in it.
Because it seemed like everything else, well, every other major significant part of the British popular culture.
I'm glad somebody did it. If they hadn't have done it, they'd have got fucking keen to do it or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at least it was Liam and the lads. So I was cool with it.
Yeah. It's like just take it for what it is, I suppose. And just one final question. Do you think, I guess, will Oasis material always be kind of part of a high-flying birds show? Because it's such a big part of you as a creative performer.
Yeah, but the more records that I write, the less. You know, like when I'm doing my big gigs, I do 21 songs, and I think 7 of those are Oasis. So there won't be that many next time around, because my whole repertoire, my whole High-Flying Birds repertoire now, if I was to play it all in order, would still only come in at about an hour.
Right.
And I've got 40 minutes to fill.
Yeah.
So the next time I make a record, I'll have 2 albums. So I probably not envisage playing that many Oasis tracks again. But I'll never completely turn my back on them, you know, because you're not going to get out of a building without playing "Don't Look Back in Anger." That's just like fucking bizarre, you know what I mean? But I don't mind. I've freed myself. I don't consider them to be Oasis songs. You know what I mean?
The songs that you wrote.
The songs that I wrote, and some of the versions that I do, I've made my own, and people have accepted them, and that's great. And there's a lot of, you know, it's like when Paul Weller does jam songs. It's no big deal.
It's no big deal.
When Neil Young does Buffalo Springfield songs, it's not. When Paul McCartney does Beatles songs, it's no big. Paul McCartney even does John Lennon songs. You know what I mean? So it's part of who you are.
Yeah. There's no point turning your back on it.
No.